team said no.
Yeah.
So it was pretty much in one direction completely this morning. And of course, you can continue to vote in this poll throughout the day and through all programming. And we'll give you the final results tomorrow morning, which will be Friday, because today is Thursday. So the weekend begins tonight, people, at the second after midnight.
Thursday, the first of that fabulous month called December. I love it. All right.
There was also a barge that sank yesterday.
Yeah.
Trinidad. It was carrying several. I can't remember the exact quantity.
900 barrels of diesel.
Yeah, but it sank, and people had to be rescued, but nobody was hurt.
No.
But 6 people were rescued from the barge. So that was another news item yesterday, in case you didn't know.
Yeah. And speaking of news item, Richard, do you know that the West Indies cricket, we're playing Australia? Do you know that, Richard? 2 test games that we have, and stumps at the end of day 2. You ready for this? Australia made 598 for 4 declared in 152.4 overs. West Indies trail by 524 runs, and currently after 25 overs, there is 74 for the loss of no wickets. So just in case you didn't know that there's still cricket after World Cup football, there is. Australia versus West Indies. And of course, that game starts late in the night at 10:20 p.m.
Has the water subsided on the main road yet?
You mean on the highway?
On the main road, running on South Key.
Yeah, right. Eastern Main Road. The right lane is passable.
Oh, it still has water there?
It still has water on the left lane, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, it still has water there. The Abattoir Road still has a bit of water as well.
Yesterday was a pretty sunny day. At least it was.
Yeah, 2 days in a row of sun. They said today we'll have sun, but a little bit of rain, nothing like what we had over the weekend. And I should also tell you that, and you know the individual, it says the airport scanners are only working because the airport will not be compliant. So because of it being highly regulated, the country must have it working. Only because of its compliance. It wasn't because of the highly regulated industry. Yeah. So we won't be rated number 1 or whatever it is. Thank you, AP. All right, so let's take some of your calls. 222-8255, 612-8255. And toll-free North Americans, 866-525-1099. Of course, the water is down on the highway, thanks to the intervention of the Ministry of Works and Transport. All right, thank you, AP.
Is that on the Southern Highway? Because there was a lot of traffic yesterday still because of that, not so?
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, boy, that traffic. I mean, the one that I was caught up with, not yesterday, the day before.
Tuesday.
Yeah, that's a kind of, you haven't had traffic like that. At least I haven't been in traffic like that. Let me say that. I have not been in traffic like that for a very long time. I'm talking about years and years and years.
Yeah, 6 hours from Port of Spain to Couva. Over 2 hours from Port of Spain to St. Augustine. I can't stay in that traffic, boy. Sorry. I might.
It's 2.5 hours. It took me 2.5 hours to get to Rima. But what I will say is that after you pass once you pass the south intersection with people heading east, it pretty much cleared up.
Right.
It got much better. So a lot of that gridlock, if you wanted to call it that, was obviously as a result of what was taking place on the Uriah Butler.
Yeah.
But yeah, but once you pass that sort of intersection, it started to be a little bit more bearable. It started to be much, I shouldn't say a little bit now, much more bearable.
Yeah, I can't be in that traffic, bro. I'm sorry. My leg is hurt. My back will hurt. I'll have to come out and stretch. All right. So let's take some of your calls. 222-8255. 612-8255. Toll free North Americans 866-525-1099. And Mr. Gritz, I expected to hear one yes to the poll. I was astonished not to hear it. Yeah, we didn't get one. We didn't get one yes. I said so. Everybody is going to say no regarding our morning poll. Of course, it'll stay up until tomorrow morning. We'll give you the final results.
Just as a bit of trivia for the sci-fi geeks among us, there was a paper done fairly recently by some NASA scientists as to why the universe may not have intelligent life. Can you guess the reason? Well, I'm kind of phrasing it badly, but let's go with that. Why it may not have intelligent life for us to relate to? Can you get the reason?
I'm thinking. No.
It's that intelligent life most likely obliterated itself. In that, because intelligent life keeps striving, whatever, the likelihood is, according to this paper, that there would have been an existentialist crisis and the species would have destroyed itself. Isn't that something?
Oh, geez. Good morning, caller.
I don't know if there's a lesson there for mankind.
It might be, Morning, pal.
Yeah. Morning, guys.
Morning, Katie.
Well, hi, morning. Well, I was caught up in that traffic on Monday, and I left Portsmouth like around 6:30 and didn't reach home till around 9:30. But one of the things I did notice was that, a lot of that traffic also too. I mean, what they should have been doing was, directing all of the trucks to get to the left side of the road or the high vehicles.
Yeah, right.
And as I passed the policemen and that were directing traffic there by Carney. I slowed down, pulled inside, and I told one of them and said, why don't you all go up a little higher and start pulling all trucks to the left? You know what his response was? Move along. Right? So, I mean, but if they had done that, that would have, eased a lot of the pressure too, because then, the lanes would have flowed faster. And on that topic, there are certain vehicles that need to get off the road when those kinds of situations happen. And I would say no more on that, right? Richard knows what I'm talking about. I was caught in it, and the truck with the number 1 and the number 2 business pulled up right next to her and in front of me, and I couldn't move left and couldn't move right.
Yep.
But unbearable.
Oh, you're talking about the politicians' trucks.
You said it, not me.
The politicians' trucks. Yeah, you don't want to get stuck behind one of those at all for 8 hours or 6 hours. You will die. Oof. You want to think about that. 222-8255. 612-8255. Toll free North Americans 866-525-1099. That's our numbers directly into our studio. We're just taking we're just taking some calls. I asked someone to be on a program this morning, and they said 60%, not at 7:50, but maybe at 7:30. So I said, okay, no problem. So I'm waiting to hear. I just messaged them, so hopefully I'll get a response from them shortly.
So we're still taking your calls. 222-TALK, 222-8255. North Americans 866-525-1099 on this Thursday morning, the first day of December 2022, as we head towards the Christmas season. We're which is the absolutely most.
Your internet is giving some problem there. Maybe I should come by you and make my ham. I know you have. I know
Can
you
you
have
guess
lots of.
why?
No, your internet dropped off, so I have no idea what you said.
I've given you plenty. Can you guess? I've given you plenty. Can you guess the
Yeah, your internet is spotty, so you're cutting in and out, Rich. So I didn't even hear your question.
morning?
Yeah, I'll wait for you to move a little bit so we can hear what you said. Nope, still. Let's grab this call. Good morning. Hello.
Hi, good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
I said, can you guess why my internet is giving? I'm taking.
You pay a bill?
You pay a bill?
That's the first thing I would ask.
Yeah, that's the first thing I said. You put credit on your phone?
Yes.
Yeah, caller, go ahead.
So Richard, I don't personally believe those studies, that those types of results that you get with respect to intelligent life in the universe, because you only have one example, and it's basically an extrapolation of human activity or human history that they make, because they have other studies that will say basically that we, teeming with life in the universe, and the universe is just so big, so many galaxies, so many stars, that it's, as Einstein would have said, if it's an awful waste of space if we have no life, because there is a lot of space. The question, I would make a comment with respect to what Paul, I think, said this morning, or he said yesterday too in this joint select committee. Well, he said this morning, I didn't hear the committee, but I didn't hear what they said in the committee, but I read the news articles, and Paul said it this morning that, the idea is that the total number of firearms that was imported, the total number of firearms that the SSC would have mentioned, 2017, 8,100 and something, 2019, 9,300, 2021, 11,000 something. That these represent an annual trade figure. And I would say again, that is not the case. So what they do, what the SSA would do to establish those figures is sort of like a survey. So they have some idea of the criminal population in Trinidad, and they would, interview more or less some fraction of that particular population and ask how much guns do they have. And then they extrapolate based on what they think the population is, the criminal population. So it's sort of like an aggregate figure, and it's not a yearly trade figure. So it's not correct to say that there are 144 million dollars worth of firearms would have entered the country in 2021. And then these types of figures would always have that's, you see, 11,043. That's a very exact number, but it's with anything, especially with surveys like those, it's those types of approaches. You have like a range of ish that you're not sure about. So it's a range over a range, because there's a fair bit of uncertainty. But I think they probably gave whatever their estimate is. But that estimate is not like like they went out and they counted, or because if they were able to actually determine how many guns enter the country in a given year, we would be in a different kettle of fish. The other thing I would say too is that sometimes, a lot of systems are optimized based on the metrics that they use. So for instance, at the airport, safety is a big consideration, right? But if it is that, you're coming in, one of the questions I would have asked is, in terms of the 8,000 whatever, containers that they were able to scan, it's of those, how many interdictions were there in terms of what did you find, more or less? And I think that could be revealed in terms of their priorities, because, is the port, and is customs really, looking for firearms and illegal weapons, or are they just trying to make money for the government and to increase revenue? What is their mandate, more or less? Because that kind of tells you what the focus is of the organization. Because if they don't have any sort of metrics in terms of, well, we need to get X amount of firearms, or we need to, then, and if their bottom line really is how much money they could get to the state, then that's part of the problem. So, these are the things that I would just express some comments on.
Okay, all right, thank you.
That's a valid point that you're making, though, about what is their overriding mandate. Is it revenue collection for the state in terms of whatever they can glean in terms of money out of any stuff that's coming in? Or is it a broader, I mean, it can be both, a broader issue of criminal interdiction of things coming in that are illegal, and specifically here we're talking about guns and drugs. So what exactly is their overriding mandate? I suspect it's a kind of a it's going to be both on some level, but obviously it will guide what your policy is, and it will guide how you operate, your operational policy. Of course, for me, I find it should be about illegal stuff. That's what you really want to make sure about. But a lot of it is, how many bottles of alcohol you have.
Yeah. All right. So let's take your calls. 222 talk 612 talk. You was telling me something before your internet went scratchy, Richard.
You know what is a little thing too? Why is it? Who decided it was just 2 bottles of alcohol you could bring in? And when was that decision made? At a time when alcohol was just made legal, because there was a point where alcohol was illegal. I mean, in human history, but at least in certain countries, let me not say human history. But so who decided that you only had the right to bring in 2 bottles of alcohol? So I think it's 2.
I think it's 2 as well.
2-7. I think it's 2. I mean, it's like, so if I bring 3, I've committed a big crime. After Johnny Walker, or God forbid I have 5. You are now engaged in, sabotaging the state, and because I have 5 bottles of Johnny Walker. Who decides? Who decides those things? And is that ever reviewed? Or is it that it's been that since 1960, and that's it? Nobody says, well, 2 is kind of ridiculous. Now, not that I want to bring in any alcohol. I don't really care, but I'm just saying, we accept that there's a certain limits, and it doesn't seem like anybody reviews these things. Because what may have been plausible in 1971 or 1961, when the rest of the Power Breakfast Show was born, vis-a-vis what happened in 1980s when other members of the Power Breakfast Show were born. It's like, what? Nothing is ever reviewed. That whatever was, is, and shall remain so forever. It's immutable. But those are just me.
It's measured in liters per year, Richard.
Those are some of the things that I...
Yeah. Things that make you go, Good morning, caller.
Good morning, guys.
Morning.
I want to remind the people of Trinidad a couple of things. First to begin, whether they want to believe it or not, the governments of any of the day do not really want to solve the problems of this country. You just have to look at the information coming out of yesterday JSC in terms of the port and scanners and so on. Only 17% of the containers are scanned, 17, 17, right? We want the people of Trinidad also to realize that we live in a dysfunctional society. Our institutions, they are not performing as intended, right? Clearly, we are seeing that. So we really living in a bad place, so to speak, and I'm not saying it in a derogatory term, we're in a bad space. And until people have the will, those in authority have the will to deal with the issues of the country, it's only then we're going to see some change. And we do not, and a bigger part of the problem is accountability. And what I like to remind people of, it's not like now this is happening, these things going on for years, It's not yesterday that problem started. And when I say problem, not only at the port, but throughout the country, the different issues we have. There is no accountability, and we continue as business as usual. We live in a dysfunctional society, and the quicker that the people understand that, the better. They now have to decide how they're going to respond to living in a dysfunctional society. Enjoy the day, guys.
All right. Thank you, pal. All right. And Richie Rich, you're only allowed 1.5 liters per annum to bring into the country. Okay. So there you go. Also, let me just let you all know that today history is going to be made when an all-female crew officiates the Men's World Cup match for the first time ever from France, from Brazil, and Mexico. This game will take place today, and that is between Costa Rica and Germany. And of course, I believe that game is at 3 p.m. Am I correct? Let me just check. Costa Rica and Germany. Yes, I'm right, at 3 p.m. First time ever. I should also say that today as well, let me just pull it up here quickly. Today is World AIDS Day. If you did not know, it's World AIDS Day. All right, so let's continue to take some of your calls. 222-8255, 612-8255. Toll free North Americans, 866-525-1099. Good morning.
Good morning. Something you said there that doesn't register right. Maybe I'm not understanding it. You said you could only bring 1.5 liters per year?
Yeah, per year. That's what I've been told.
Yeah, but here's what I'm understanding. Here's what my question.
How they checking that?
No. You said because this is alcohol you purchased in duty free, right?
Yeah.
So you're not bringing anything into the country, you're purchasing it in the country.
Well, I guess it's for foreigners coming in.
But you're not bringing it in either. I mean, that only applies to what you're bringing in a suitcase from another country.
I don't know. You asked me something I cannot answer.
You understand? You understand the question?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Alcohol in duty free is not imported alcohol. You purchase it in the country just duty free. So unless the wording needs to be corrected and they say you are allowed 1 something liters in duty free to purchase, that is a different statement. But to bring in the country is a whole different, But Richard asked a valid question. That seems like a little bit of alcohol for the year.
Richard is drinking that in a weekend.
Exactly. I know people who sit down and drink a bottle of rum in a couple of hours, normal,
yeah.
and not be drunk.
That's Richard.
Yeah, not drunk. Don't get drunk at all.
You don't get drunk in Trinity Mall.
Drink a bottle of vodka, a bottle of Johnny, and then normal. So for you to tell me that is all I could import for the year, and then again I'm hearing some disturbing news about these guns and these containers that are searched. And I hope the xenophobic people who strongly believe there's Venezuelans bringing in guns and guns coming in on the waters and guns coming in over the waters. I hope they could put aside this xenophobia and understand, because we're seeing it. It's not just speculation. We are seeing it being identified in police raids and whatnot. And now with the information being disseminated that only 17% of the containers that are legally into the country are scanned, there's a high possibility that most of these guns are coming into this country, coming in through the legal ports and not over the waters that we like to blame Venezuelans for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right. Thanks, pal.
Thank you.
Good morning, caller. Oopsie daisy. Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago, and good morning to the breakfast crew.
Morning.
Yeah, I want to agree with one of the callers in regards to accountability and responsibility. I think these are two of the things that are lacking throughout Trinidad and Tobago. It's sad to see and hear that. And also, I would like to know how is the present situation in Trinidad and Tobago in regards to all this flooding that I've been seeing? Can you give me an update on that?
What is your question?
What is the present state of the country in regards to the amount of flooding that I've been seeing?
I don't even know how you want me to answer that. The water is receding. It's going down slowly.
Okay.
That's about it. We've been having sunny days, thank goodness for that.
Okay, so
and I guess the cleanup will begin right after that.
Okay, that is good news. Thank you very much.
No problem. Yeah, the cleanup and all the mud and dirt and as much as you clean your house, you'll still find dirt and mud, dot in your house for months to come, I'm sure. I can't fathom being flooded like that. I'm seeing people walking with up to the floodwaters up to their neck. I can't fathom that at all. Cannot. All right, 222-8255, 612-8255, toll free North Americans, 866-525-1099. We're going to take in some of your calls. I've not heard from my guest yet, but we'll see how that goes. Carol Guevara, good morning to you once again. She says you can bring in more than 2 bottles, but you'll have to pay the duty on the extra bottles, Rich. You're allowed 2 bottles duty free. I guess it was 750 mils. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Yeah, morning.
I realize it's you alone there now.
Yeah, Richard just went up to his office.
No, I'm back.
You're back? Okay.
Yeah, you hearing me, right?
Paul is still in the toilet.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he's had problems
TMI,
every morning.
TMI.
Yeah, that's TT time, we call it.
TT time.
Mm-hmm.
But guys, I want to discuss a situation I saw, a video there's 2 videos that I saw actually on social media. And it was propagated by Alexa, volume 1. It was done by Injan Ishmael. And this guy is a guy that likes to propagate that ministers should set out a good example and what are the youths following and what that. And I don't know if he does listen to himself or if he does take his own advice. I saw 2 videos with him berating the Minister of Local Government. And what was even worse about him, his actions and his tone, was that he was chaining up now another citizen. Another citizen started by the fight now. And he started to ask the question to the minister. Yes, you come today, which was, I saw it on Monday. So he said, yes, you come today, but where you was on Saturday? And I have to ask the question, these people, if they don't think, what is a minister going to come in your community to do when the rain is falling and it is flooded?
And let me add, Bamboo is not the only place being flooded, eh?
And Bamboo is not the only place flooded.
Yeah, we spoke about that.
In the middle of the flood.
We spoke about that yesterday.
I didn't listen to the program.
Yeah, we spoke about, and the same thing you're saying that in such an example, but you watch a minister go in and saying why you come in and all them tight pants you're wearing and I do not. Let me tell you something.
Go ahead.
Yes, people are in distress. Yes, people are upset. Yes, people are angry. But if you decide to do a FB Live, have a little respect. In the end of the day, it doesn't matter which party is involved. As far as I look at it, it's respect.
For the office.
It goes to every individual. Always have respect for individuals. But he's also a minister of government and always have respect. It doesn't matter if you're UNC, PNM, NAR, whatever it is. It is a minister.
It was a true reflection. I learned a word a couple of years ago called ad hominem. And it was a true description of the meaning of the word ad hominem. Because while you are in the flood, while the minister is there and the main concern of the day is the flood, you know what you choose to talk about? How much contractor getting kicked back? how much millions of dollars you gain from rent and your type and your sexy pants and all kind of other issues you had the forum and the minister to talk about, but you choose to talk about all of them things except the flood. The correct definition of the word ad hominem.
Ad hominem. I think that's a Sesame Street song too.
Really? I never saw that.
So.
But it was disgusting for a media person. It was disgusting for a businessman. It was disgusting for a person who campaigned for the UN, for the PNM. It was disgusting on all levels. It was disgusting for children to watch. It was just disgusting. And I would like to tell that individual he's a disgusting human being.
Well, I won't go that far to say anybody is a disgusting human being. I won't do that. But people must have respect. You know, as you say, he's a disgusting human being. Still have respect for the man. You can think what you want. You can say what you want. But, you know, don't say he's a disgusting human being.
All right,
have some respect, you know, and in order for adults, and this is why the youths of today, in the situation that they're in, the teachers at home are not teaching them the right thing.
Correct.
We're our own worst enemy, you know.
Correct.
The children at home learn from the adults. The adults need to set an example. Parents are teachers. So, thanks, pal.
All right, Papa.
All the best there. Good morning.
Hey, morning.
Morning, Mr. Patos.
Yeah, man, listen.
Yeah, morning, Mr. Patrick.
Yes, politicians, everybody, morning. Wendell, is morning. I was explaining something to somebody yesterday for the flooding in Bamboo. Yeah, and they say they really never see that way. Bamboo flood, and it does take 5 to 6 days for water to come out the bamboo, right? But the water cannot come out the bamboo. You know what I'm saying? They say why? They say the river bank that they build around the bank of the river higher than bamboo. So when the water overflow the bank, it ends up in bamboo. When you go in bamboo now, there's no place in bamboo for the water to run out. So they have to pump it out back to the river. He said he never know that. That when they don't have no proper infrastructure of drainage and bridges in the area.
And they're saying some individual had a line that took an excavator and breached the
excavator was banging.
But my question is, if the individual saw this excavator come in and breaching the embankment, why nobody called the police or the authority and say, listen, or go by the man?
The excavator was working there. Banking, and when the excavator was rolling out the tracks of the excavator breached the banking. All the excavator man had to do was to pull back the bridge. But I don't know who allow him to just leave the bridge. It come like you have a hole in a wall then. That all went on there. That was the same. So now all that water come over now, end up in the bamboo, and the bamboo has no drainage. That's like Freeman Road, the same thing. So they must have flooding, and it will take days for the water go out. Look all about that flood. And water went out long time.
Well, and they're still flooded in deep south.
Because you have drainage. Once you have drainage, water doesn't run out. When you don't have drainage and you're in a hole, where the water goes, they have to pump it out, and you have to wait till some sun come to dry up the rest. Absorption, look at that. To absorb the water then. The soil go take some and the sun go take some. So, that way it is about it. They say, boy, they never see that. They never know that. I say, because all you don't understand the geographical thing around these places.
Yeah.
No. That thing in the airport with customs, boy. I was coming back to Trinidad. I was coming back to Trinidad with some luggage and things, suitcase and things. And they put me in a line, and they decided to open suitcase. But I buy some perfume for she mother and she sister and them. I buy 2 sneakers, one for me and my son, 2 shoes. She buy shoes for she son and all. What custom asking me, what are we going to do with anything?
I don't know. I mean, let me tell you, when I travel, I literally have nothing really to declare. I will buy a shoe, I'll buy a pair of jeans, I'll buy a couple of shorts, t-shirts. Empress, last time I traveled, Empress was around, so half the suitcase was filled with dog stuff. But what I travel with, because I like watches, and so when I travel, I don't go with one. I take 2 or 3, and I take my regular watch. I have a sport watch, and I remember one time I came back, and I of course I have it in the cloth, and I normally put it in the little jewelry cloths and put them in my toiletries bag. And they asked me what I doing with that watch. So I said, what do you mean, what am I doing with those watches? I said, they're mine. So say, did you buy them? No, I carried them with me. So why you carry 3 watches? In my mind, I'm saying, what business is it of yours?
Like my watch?
It's my watch. If I feel to carry 2 extra watches, I'll carry 2 extra watches.
Right. Here we go, right? Around that time, the 2 boys and I was in school. You understand? They in school. So when you are away in the States, that's summer sale and thing there. So you buy 2 sneakers, 2 shoes, pants and things. They were asking me, what I buy that for? We not supposed to bring that here. We only supposed to bring 2,000 US in items. 2,000 US in items. I said, are they real? You understand?
Mm-hmm.
But I really don't know, you know. I think the raise that to 5,000 now. In the last the budget gone. Look at my partner, every year he come for Christmas. He bring things for his mother, his sister and them. He said, people asking him where you going to that. He said, well, it's Christmas, I bring gifts for my family. I go on there.
Thanks, Patos. Good morning.
How you all going?
We good, man. How you going?
We're good.
I'm fine with a few scattered showers.
On who are we speaking with?
I little caller, Ren. What happened is, because I was calling, I don't know what was going on the program.
Right.
But I wanted to cover the duty because I don't know if you all have a misconception, but duty, the purpose of duty is to protect local manufacturers. So therefore, the limit on the alcohol is not that you can't bring in more. You could bring in more. You just have to pay duty on the excess. So you have 1.5 liters duty free of foreign alcohol. That's the purpose of duty. And to answer Richard's question, it is reviewed every year at the budget. When they have a budget, they review the duty. Now, in a lot of cases, the duty is unfair because they're protecting local manufacturers that are really not competitive. But at the same time, I mean, CCL is an example. But also, there's a law about alcohol under the Dangerous Drugs Act, where there's a limit of how much you can transport. You need a license to transport it. So even though you're bringing in more and you pay your duty, you gotta get a license to transport it if it's over a certain amount.
Yeah, I know about that. So like if you buy a case of rum from any retailer, they are required to give you a license to transport that rum.
Correct. But that's the purpose of the duty. So when we bring in alcohol, usually it's our Johnny Walker and imported alcohol, and we pay duty free. So we get duty free in transport all over the world. All the airports is duty free because the airports themselves don't really consider themselves a country, or a state. So you get duty free up to a certain amount when you're passing into customs now. And the customs are saying, all right, 1.5 liters, no duty. So you get that duty free, cheaper on the shelf in Trinidad. So Bridens and all of those other companies, they're losing sales because you're buying it duty free.
Mm-hmm. All right. Thanks, buddy.
You all be safe.
Be safe. Stay dry. Good morning, caller.
Hi, morning, Steve, Richard, and Paul.
Yeah, morning.
Morning. I just want to make a few statements and questions to the respective authorities. With regard to the bamboo settlement, The things that should be that I would like to find is how were the lands developed in bamboo? Were they privately developed? What about the infrastructure? Was the infrastructure put in place
It was primarily by squatting first.
by squatting?
Yes,
Right.
primarily by squatting
What I
first,
want
and
to
then
know.
people were not removed for political reasons in different administrations, and then you put up one light pole. Once you take one, you legitimize it. You put up another light pole, legitimize it, then a road pave, and it becomes a settlement.
Right.
Well, you know, I didn't know that, Paul.
Well, that answers my. Well, I had known that because my husband used to work with government, and he said that was a squatting area. Because he used to go there to try and regularize the squatters years ago, through the government. So I mean, so you see, we of our own selves, of our own selves cause our problems, and then we come blaming the authorities, the government in power for the excess flooding and whatnot. And somebody was quite right in talking about the politicians on trucks. All they're doing is going on trucks just to be on TV to politicize it, rather than thinking firstly that this thing is an act of God because it's happening all over the world, regardless of what anybody says, right? And secondly, if we decide that we are going to squat in an area and the drainage is not properly put in place, obviously it's going to happen. And that is what is happening on all the hills with all of the houses that are falling down right now too. Okay? You all have a lovely day. Thank you.
Same to you.
All right. Thank you, my dear. All the best to you. Hot Pants.
Hello.
Hot Pants.
Good morning again,
Morning.
gentlemen.
Morning, sexy.
Oh, what is this? What is all this outpouring of love?
No, this thing is in the tail.
You know what? When Cindy called, he don't have a problem with that. But again, the me and Zina business. When she called and she effusive, but she love for she one and only husband, and really she husband, it's not a problem. But because me and Zina have everything going, that strongly approve, you get involved. Mind your business.
Oh God, strongly approve. Oh God, look, it's too early to laugh so hard. Paul,
Because you might sprinkle that diaper. You laugh too hard. You went to wet down the diaper this early morning.
Thank God I reached that stage yet.
You will all reach that stage.
If
we're blessed to reach that stage.
Like oh Lord. You know, now, I want to talk about this behavior in the bamboo. You know what is so ironic? These are the same people who get a guy to go to court to dissolve the council. Eh? You got a man to go to court because you find that they're illegal after a certain date.
You know what? In a strange sort of way, I think the population sees through the agendas in the bamboo.
Yes.
By and large, I think sensible people in the population see through the agendas in the bamboo. Because there are several agendas in the bamboo.
But of course, and then you.
He ain't fooling nobody.
No, and when somebody call and say yes, they saw the PM people here, Miss Admira, what's her name? You sure? You sure you was
remember when I was asking that, Steve, earlier? I said I am sure that the ODM people were moving about. It may not have been everywhere, but I know that they were helping friends of mine and people that I know.
Yeah, they were all.
And watch me, and those are the same people that almost extricate the councillor who went to the meeting that the minister called. Is the Prime Minister of Paris, Alwari, to discuss about the local government and that how they want to implement things and to give the council more money and power to handle the areas. It is them who didn't want it. That when all the councillor went, all you tried to move heaven and earth was to get him out of the position till he jump and say he not no PNM, he's UNC. Yes, so it have a way, listen, God have a way of working things. You want to show them a form. You understand? That when all you move stupid, that's the kind of things that will happen to all you.
What are you talking about? I don't understand. So you're trying to say God striking them down?
No, he is striking them down. It's have a nature is a strange thing. But
you say God is in nature.
Truth. All right, good. Well, let me take out God out of it.
You see, but you know,
realize.
Paul, you don't understand. She talking to you and she getting a little total bay.
Watch me. They're going to learn a lesson now that when you hear sensible things talking and send people with sense trying to put things in place, well, don't try to intervene. And
you know what's ironic about this?
Yes.
We're going to have this same conversation in 6 months.
Yeah.
But why?
Because it's the same bamboo, but the same riverbed, that the same flooding coming.
Okay, and how they then make an issue about the man who they say now was grazing down the place to make entertainment center, and then we hearing now is a PNM. It want to make it sound like it's a PNM contractor because he billing somewhere for the PNM. All kind of stupidness. You want to tell me that calamity there, or they want to take it and try to politicize it now for it to look like PNM bad and all they are the saving grace down there, all they are the angels drop out of heaven and behaving so bad and dotish and showing up themselves. Listen,
you know what's interesting about that?
Sorry.
I heard somebody say that I heard someone say that the Minister of Local Government and the Minister of Rural Development and the Minister of Works should not have gone in there. They asked for that. If they didn't go, there'd be something else.
And listen, damn if you do, damn if you don't.
If they didn't go, none of them turned up.
Yeah, and where is and
people flooded and nobody showed their face.
And they are asking where's the president? You just want people to come, and when they come, that is their behavior. Well,
there are a lot of, not everyone, but there are a lot of people in there displaying clear agendas. And they are using the opportunity to project their agendas. It is clear.
Yeah, that's right.
And that is part of the political landscape in France.
Yes, and we see through all that, and I hope the sensible people in this country. Because with the
what you should have do, let me tell you what you should have do. You could avoid all of this, you know. You could avoid all of this. You know that?
What? Avoid all what?
You could have mitigate all of this, all. All you have to do is go in that storage container you have and pull out 100 PNM blankets and go and give people. And
that's all, Zina.
And I hope
you're saving all the blankets for yourself.
I hope the government put the army on standby for when Munilal got the people to put the things on trucks to go and throw in front of the Prime Minister's house, that they take what they get. Thank I go on.
All right, Zina, thank you. All right, we'll continue to take some of your calls on the other side of 8 o'clock. Let's get into our 8 o'clock news brief, all powered by Champlain Auto Services.
This is your news bulletin from Power 102 Digital.
A High Court judge has denied an injunction which would have forced the government to hold local government elections.